Hello everyone, my name is Zane, and welcome back to another episode of Tiffin. I hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far, because I'm having a lot of fun making it. Being able to write the history, building it, and you guys watching the process as we continue moving forward into history. So anyway, in today's episode, we'll be focused towards two things that both relate to one another. The first thing being that the power plant itself, the build for it, and the second thing being the lore and the history for the power plant, as hinted at in episode 3. I'll be popping in and out for commentary for this video, either in caption form or actually speaking, just to explain a couple things here and there about what we're building, or where the inspiration came from, and how I executed the build itself. That's all I got for you guys right now. Hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you again very soon. Alright, so here's where things start to change a lot, and I feel the need to help explain what's about to go down. In the next minute or so, all the stuff you've seen me build so far, except for the entrance, gets completely scratched. This has nothing to do with history, but more of me testing what would look best. I decided to keep all this in because I wanted to give the viewer a good idea on the building process for projects like these. I wanted to show that I don't just go into this with a set idea. I know most people actually go in with ideas and then just build it. Not me though, not me. I go in with a couple go into the game, get a couple quick thoughts thrown down, and just go with it and see what I can make of it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This right here is an example of where it just doesn't work. So I completely scrapped the layout I thought of going for first and started to take actual inspiration from real life places. I went with two places in particular: the Perry Nuclear Power Plant on Lake Erie in Perry, Ohio, and the Sequoia Nuclear Power Plant on the Chickamauga Lake in Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. The layout of mine was inspired by Perry's, while the location itself was based off Tennessee's. I went with these two because the location of the Sequoia was very similar to mine, where it was on somewhat of a lake itself, and I've already done a research project in ecology last year on Perry's, so I was already somewhat familiar with it. So I just went with it. I also like the layout of it a little bit more than some of the other ones I've looked at, since it's in my home state. That helps as well. So it's got a couple pluses on it. Now, it's time for some lore on the power plant. Our story begins with Douglas R. Paterson, a millionaire from Texas who is on a road trip to find a new area for a nuclear power plant he's been wanting to fund and build. He travels through a little town called Tiffin, close to maybe 2,000 residents. They stop by and go in for some lunch at a little mom and pop diner in Uptown. He notices that not all the lights are turned on, and he asks the waitress, "Why are only half your lights turned on?" She replies with, "Our town has been struggling to find a good way to make power available for everybody in town, but we haven't had the money to build anything massive. So for right now, all we do is, if we aren't using the power, we shut our lights down so we aren't using much of it." Douglas asks, Where's your town hall here?" "Down the street, in the police station." He finishes his meal, pays and leaves $400 tip for it. Pretty generous guy, right? He goes into town hall and requests to talk to the mayor. At first, the front desk did not allow him, but after stating who he was, she, at the front desk, let him right in. Douglas and Joe had a discussion about the town's need for power and how it didn't look so great for a lot of them. Douglas sees Joe's struggle and decides to settle for Tiffin to be the location of his power plant. The Paterson nuclear power plant was established and will serve the town for many years to come. Douglas just had one request for Joe and John. "I will help you build your power plant here, but you have to let me build houses for my family and I." "Deal," says Joe and John simultaneously. So, now you know part of the story behind why those houses had to be demolished and how Douglas even got here. The rest of the information is all up for interpretation. Little parts that I missed, or you think I could have been added on somewhere, all that, it's all up to you. I would love to hear some of your guys' lore if you've come up with any. I'm always down to hear how others use their imagination for fictional stories such as these, because I mean, for me, I just come up with it on the spot. I just write it down, script it out, and it's usually a rough draft. Maybe I could put some other parts in there. I can expand on it a little bit more, but I just like to give a little bit of that little bit on top to kind of give you guys that slight bit of background on like how this forms or where this comes from, such and such. While a little information I leave out, like I said, is all for interpretation. Whatever you guys come up with, I'd love to hear it. And so, we're getting close to the end of the video here. I hope you all enjoyed this build with me starting off with my first idea, failing at it, restarting and actually finding an inspiration for a build to make it come out looking, in my opinion, pretty good. I had a lot of fun making this video and building the story for the power plant. Creating the stories is always the hard part, but it feels so worth it when I'm finished with it. But moving on, I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure you like the video if you really enjoyed. Comment any suggestions you may have, and subscribe for more City Skylines content like this. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.